What do you call a snowman with a six-pack? An abdominal snowman. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today, we're going to talk about the best 3v3 offense teams upcoming. Oh boy, this season is going to be pretty intense. And so before we discuss all that, well, first we do have the 3v3 best defense teams. That's going to be linked as well. And the link to my Patreon is in the video description, guys. There is someone I needed to add on this, and I didn't get it done in time, and I apologize. But thank you so much to all my patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. And if you want to like, subscribe, or comment, please mount the algorithm. That didn't quite work the way I wanted, but please do it anyways. And finally, folks, if you want to get your roster reviewed or roasted, hit me up on Discord. You can see the info on the slide right here, and I do charge for it. It's just so there's no confusion there, folks. Thank you to everyone who has shown some interest. There's been a lot of people, actually, so come get in line, folks, before we run out of spots. And this isn't going to be on the defensive teams video. I have new sponsors, so go check out that as well. And I can't put my own stuff, my own shout outs on a video that is has someone else sponsoring it, well, in that particular case. But let's get going, shall we, folks? Let's talk about the best offensive teams, because it's going to be a crazy season, I think. Let's get into whoa, wow, we're in the game. This is madness. So, first off, all right, our game is suddenly just very dominated by focused datacrons, which gives us more overpowered teams. Then we kind of know what to do with it. In threes, they're more relevant, actually, because they're both really good in fives, and some of them are extra good in threes. So in this case, there's an Aphra one that's really strong. And in fact, she kind of there's a reason Jabba's on the offense teams here, guys. He's going to be able to solo a lot of things, and honestly, this season is going to have a very different look if you're facing someone who is very datacron heavy and has a lot of rerolls, because they're going to be going for a lot of defense percent stats, which means the amount of damage you can cause is going to be significantly reduced. And so Jabba is actually really nice on offense because he kind of just cuts through all that defense. Like you can solo a lot of things. Like you can go and fight like a Malgus team, for instance, and he'll just slowly have his Rancor eat the entire squad. And so if you're gonna solo things with Jabba, you don't necessarily need Boosh or Chrysanthemum. So Chrysanthemum actually could be on defense, or on offense for that matter, with Aphra if you wanted to, but this is just kind of the default team for Jabba. He lost his Datacron, but the team is just going to be good on offense. And in the reverse, unless you're pretty sure your opponent is putting Aphra on defense, if you put your Jabba down, then Aphra has an ideal target because of her focus datacron. So I think we just keep Jabba for offense. Unfortunately, if you put it on defense, also it is suddenly open season for Night Sisters again, which, I mean, granted, that's an RNG fest, but something to be thinking about at least. Leia just needs to be on offense for, I think, the conceivable future, unfortunately. I think we're going to be using her to counter Lord Vader for a while, at least. We'll see if the Night Sisters, the Great Mother's team, is going to have any play into that team. But as of right now, I think Leia is just the answer, for at least to some degree. She just kills Lord Vader. If your opponent doesn't have a good Lord Vader team with the new clones, then she can take out whatever asinine Rey team is out there, because there is inevitably going to be one. And she's just going to be a very useful individual And putting her on defense is strong, but honestly, guys, one of the things that I've been talking to a few people about is if you're going to put a strong defense down, you're going to be really cautious on offense because you're going to slowly, like if there's only a couple counters to a couple of the teams out there, frankly, there's a few teams that are just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I think I'll just lose. And if you win against one of those teams, then great, that's awesome, congratulations. But if you lose, there's not much recourse. There's like a couple counters to each, and so you got to be really cautious. Leia's going to be able to counter probably. I don't know, maybe not all of them. I don't know how many total. She's gonna be very helpful though, and we're gonna need some pretty all-comer offense teams, and she is definitely one of those. Next we have, say, the Eternal Emperor, and like we have the three-way combo of, say, the Eternal Emperor with Bane, and then Bane on his own. And honestly, okay, so one of the biggest teams that we're going to face on defense, people are going to be placing it a lot, it's going to be Supreme Leader Kylo with Pointy Teeth Rey. And then I think probably Kylo Ren unmasked, because you want to have a tank to be able to, like, you need that tank so that Jedi Master Kenobi doesn't just immediately take out Pointy Teeth Rey, or at least somewhat immediately. And so Bane is one of the teams that is going to be able to take that out. It looks like it's not going to be like really pretty. I think at 5s it's really, really challenging. In 3s it seems like it's doable, and so typically you're going to want to use Darth Bane there. I think it's also possible, at least, that Bane with Sith the Eternal Emperor is going to be good. We're going to have to look at the stats from the first week before we make any really big determinations, but it does appear that Bane is going to be like the primary counter to Supreme Leader Kylo with the Pointy Teeth Rey Kron. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to be super duper consistent, but if that happens, then you also have Jedi Master Kenobi, who could, in theory, help you take someone out. If you're doing that, you can put 5s or Yoda, Grandmaster Yoda, as the third member, because Supreme Leader Kylo will immediately do the poke on either Grandmaster Yoda or Kenobi here, or not Kenobi, sorry, 5s. Those are, it's like pre-written in. And so against Supreme Leader Kylo, I think this team actually has less of a chance, because you're not going to get an early ult with the team, no matter how you slice it. Like, you might be able to, there's a few ways you could, but I would say Kenobi's probably your backup. But after that, there's like no other options. Like, Supreme Leader Kylo with Pointy Teeth Rey is just going to be oppressive, and so keeping your Darth Bane available for that is going to be pretty imperative. And then there's going to be so much defense, so many defense crons out there anyways, that a lot of teams are just going to have stacked defense. And see, the Eternal Emperor is really good at just frying things, even if they have a lot of defense. So nice little combo there. I think we're mostly going to keep Bane and Sith Assassin split, but you never know. Like, Ahsoka with Ezra is also going to be an issue, and Sith Eternal Emperor with Bane can help with that issue as well, especially if they're really high defense. We'll just have to see what our opponents are placing, but you gotta assume that your opponent is placing Supreme Leader Kylo this season, because you can't just casually beat him or even just zerg that team down. It's going to be a very, very challenging team. So keeping Kenobi for offense, I like to throw him on defense, though he is just losing, straight up losing to Bo-Katan anyways, so unfortunate about that, but he'll probably be on offense most of the season. So then you can keep Skywalker for offense as well, because that's fun. You can use 5s with Skywalker in the front zone, and then have to kill Supreme Leader Kylo in the back zone and not have 5s available. So that'll be fun. We will all really enjoy that. So I mean, Skywalker's decent. I also have him on the defensive teams, honestly, guys. He's an inefficient fellow, but one way or another, I mean, I guess one thing you can say about all the different power creep and all the different teams that are appearing here, me denigrating the Skywalker team is no longer something that people will unfollow me for, that I know of. Maybe people silently do, but they don't loudly do it anymore because he just doesn't matter as much, guys. Unfortunately, he'll kill some stuff and then he'll also not kill other stuff. We are looking for good teams with like resilient teams with a lot of like ways to get through defense, and Skywalker does have that with between himself and Rex. You can do armor shred with Skywalker, and then Rex has his Rexecute attack. So this honestly, the squad on offense does make a lot of sense, at least against certain squads. I think Inquisition is mostly not a defensive team anymore, folks. There's a lot of things that take it out. People were just roaming the area with Malgus, for instance, will just take out Third Sister. Lot of different teams are gonna beat this. Even, I mean, they don't have any specifically buffing Datacrons right now for these guys, and so I would actually I would use Adrad against this team even. If you have Baze on the Adrad team, like I just wouldn't put this on defense, guys. So unfortunate. We'll all shed a tear for the Inquisition, but I mean, they'll still. I think this team. I'll be interested to see how it all shakes out, but I want to see how it goes against Jedi Master Luke team with Jedi Luke and that Datacron. That's another like top 2 Datacron that we're gonna have to face, and I think this team might have. And fives, it certainly has some applicability. We'll see if in threes Inquisition can take out that Jedi Master Luke team with Jedi Luke. It looks rough. But this team might be the solution, guys. We'll have to see. We have Commander Luke and company for offense. We'll probably just never use them. Guys, you should just take your mods completely off of him. That's what I said in that one video. Remember when I was like, we can remove these mods? You guys were like, I will never take mods off of him. He's too useful. Okay, I mean, that's cool, man. I'd like to advocate for people to fully remove all mods and never like put other mods that are just slightly worse on them. I like it when people just remove mods to make them unusable in their entirety for all time. That's always what I'm advocating, right? Oh my lord. People they love to think I rage baited them. It's fun. I love to upvote my accusations of that. So ISC and Gar both have a really cool Datacron right now, guys. I am of the I know that the Gar Saxon one is cool and all because he does extra damage. He attacks extra, he does extra damage. It's awesome. I think that ISC is going to make this team, with his Datacron, is going to make this team a lot more consistent, though, just because you don't have a way to go first on this team, and a lot of times you move in and something unforeseen happens and they just kill them all, or they stun your guys and it sucks and you can't beat them. But ISC takes turns every time they take turns, and that will in turn give Maul his turns with Frenzy, and then you're off to the races. And yes, I know that Gar Saxon does more damage, but he does less damage if you don't ever get turns with this team, which is a real problem when you're looking in at Kyber 1. I do think this team is going to get some use in threes, however, even at the top level, just because ISC is going to open the door for them. It looks cool. I'm pretty excited for this team this season, honestly, guys. If you have the Zalbar Omicron, I guess just keep using it. There's an Omicron and then there's a Focus Datacron. This team will take out Great Mothers, though you got to be cautious because Great Mothers won't allow mission to revive. Well, I guess they would. They would allow mission to revive. But anyways, it's not really the mission problem anyways. Like Zalbar, if you can't kill their team fast enough, it seems like you might just like the Great Mothers might just wither this team, and that's part of the problem with this defense percent stat on a lot of Datacrons. If people are re-rolling them or just happen to have a lot of good natural rolls for them, it's like if you can use Darth Revan to or if you can use the Great Mothers with a ton of defense to just stall out Darth Revan and Zalbar and you can't kill them fast enough, then they will eventually wear down Zalbar. Like, they'll win the attrition game. And so if you don't have enough offense on the team or something, you could have some serious issues. Of course, that I do think this team is still going to be taking that squad out pretty decently well. We'll see. The little note I have on the top here is actually for the defensive version of this, because people are going to be placing Gungans on defense sometimes, and if they are, because it's a defense, or it's a Gungan set as well, and if you're using Gungans on defense, then this team could also be good on defense, because that's the one, like, easy win. That's like the win button against this squad. Like, there are other teams that beat it, but Gungans are like cheap enough and easy enough that it's just a win button. But if they're being placed on defense a lot, this squad is suddenly a lot better on defense as well, because they're not susceptible to death by frog. Speaking of the frogs, I do think they're going to be on defense sometimes. There's some interesting crons. There's one where Tarpals does a lot of extra damage. They have a lot of just casually stunning abilities. They have one with I think it's the Phalanx, the shield guy, where he just removes turn meter every time he taunts, and that dude taunts a lot. He's kind of an a-hole. He's like that French dude in Monty Python. Honestly, he taunts a lot, and you lose turn meter as a result. That team is going to be obnoxious on defense. So it says, as the caption here says, sometimes on D. That's not an innuendo, folks. I can't imagine that someone would want to do that, but one way or another, the frogs are also going to be so good on offense as usual. And then we have Jedi Revan. And you don't have to have this exact combo, but the Jedi Master Luke team is a pretty well prescribed 3. It's going to involve the Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Knight Luke, and Hoda. And so these are our best, like, kind of 3 backup Jedi. The Mace might want to be with, like, Padme or something. If it's on offense, you can kind of mix and match, though. So you can use Mace somewhere else. But Revan and Cal honestly do have a really great synergy. It's too bad, like, they're going to really miss the Jedi Calcron, and they're going to really miss having Jedi Knight Luke with them. But Mace is really nice. Like, if your opponent's putting Zori, Fin Zori on defense, for instance, this squad will take him down almost every time. So, and then, honestly, this team can also beat Malgus teams and stuff. You got to be cautious, of course, for a lot of different reasons, but you can also use, like, Basti lead with Revan and Cal. That can work really nicely. A lot of times, you probably do want Luke there instead. So, your mileage may vary. I feel like this squad is going to end up, but we'll use it a lot this season. It's going to have a kind of a downshift in its total targets, though. It's available targets. Treya is another one. I mean, if people are putting a lot of defense percent stats on their teams, then Nihilist doesn't really care about that. And then the teams don't have a whole lot of extra offense on them if they're putting a lot of defense on. And so Treya and Savage are going to be as unkillable as ever. Aphra, I'm just going to keep her for offense this season. Last season, I feel like I caused a lot of headaches for both my opponents and myself in placing this team on defense with the Focus Datacron, because it gave my opponents the ability to just have Jabba on defense and me not really have a great option against him. And, I mean, whereas it did take a few teams from my opponent's available squads to be able to take me out, it was not, like, that team really required, like, Chrysanthemum, or people could just use Gungans really easily on it. This squad, I think I'm just going to keep it on offense this season. There is a version of this team with Chrysanthemum on the defensive side. You can go check that out when we talk about defensive teams on the other video. So, also, we have Bo-Katan on offense. I mean, she could be decent on defense because no one knows what the heck she does. And she ignores taunts. She does all kinds of unpredictable, annoying things. But at the end of the day, if your opponent gets cheeky and puts Jedi Master Kenobi down, if they put, I mean, I think if people are putting down the Gun team with Tarpals, or even without, I mean, I think that she's just going to kill a lot of Gun squads this season if people are getting crazy and putting Guns down. So you want her for offense, for that sort of thing. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. I mean, as long as Adrad exists and they don't have like a really strong Datacron, or they don't have like a new character for the team, I just don't see a scenario where Adrad really doesn't just destroy him when he's on defense. He can be annoying on defense if your opponent doesn't have Adrad, but because it's threes and your opponent is not placing Adrad on their Leia team, regardless of what happens, and hopefully they're not being stupid and putting Adrad on defense, then putting Adrad on offense and deleting all the various trooper teams is nice. Plus, this team really penalizes teams that have a lot of turn meter shenanigans. So honestly, it can be really nice. A lot of times you'll just keep it on offense on the bench the whole time, but it is a team that is worth mentioning at least. So if you want to put this team on defense, that's a little notice for defense. Putting really high defense percent on them could be really frustrating for some people, because people are trying to get a cheap counter off on them, and if that doesn't work, then this team can be really, really frustrating. Like I mentioned with Darth Revan and Zalbar, if they can't chew through this team fast enough, then they are just kind of screwed. Otherwise, I think on offense, this team, I mean, I did finally, it's not the best one, but I did finally get an accuracy arrow. Oh, you guys can't see it, can you? Hold on. I did finally get an accuracy arrow for her so that she can hit Ezra. And for me, at least, I think I'm going to end up trying to use Spirit to counter Ahsoka teams, even when they have Ezra. Don't count on that, though. I mean, count on me probably trying to be brave and doing it, but don't count on that actually working. I do think this team has a lot of value on offense, though, because Nice Sister Spirit ignores defense entirely with her unique, as long as she has foresight, and this team gives her foresight a lot. So really, really nice synergy there. And because defense is the enemy, you want Spirit there to delete things. Bosk with the man. I mean, if your opponent is placing teams that this bounty hunter team can beat, congratulations, you've probably already won. But Mando can, of course, just auto delete people, which is relevant in that defense heavy stat circumstance. Okay, so Adrad, I don't know if people are going to place. We could typically find a use for him in threes, even when he doesn't have a really great Datacron. And there is a Rebel fighter cron out there that can kind of be relevant. It's not too crazy, though. This team does cool stuff. Like, it'll kill Inquisition, it'll kill that Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team. If your opponent places Iden, remember that you can, a lot of times, if you understand the mechanics, delete an Iden before even the rest of her squad is dead. So it's nice to have for offense. Putting it on defense is an enormous liability, and it's a free team for your opponent, so don't do it. You have Wampa, we have Sidious. Sidious will probably end up killing like Tuscans every time or something like that. Sidious is going to be very challenging to deny, though I think that's kind of the hallmark of a good defense team is, can Sidious with his Datacron destroy it? And if the answer is yes, then probably you want to go home and rethink your life, or continue smoking death sticks. Your call. Grievous, a lot of people tried to put, I don't know, it seems like people got confused last season. They were like, dude, Zareth said to put Grievous on defense. And I totally did. But then they put the wrong cron on there. They were like, dude, obviously we're going to use the Grievous cron. And the idea was, no, you want the one that stopped people from being able to damage you. The damage immunity one. It was the one that was the one you wanted, because then he ramps damage. He stops you from doing that. Like a team that can just stick around for a long time is the team that's really good on defense. He does have a good Datacron still. The one that I said should go on defense is gone now. So putting Grievous on offense and using him to delete things, it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if this is the best team for whatever you want to try to delete, but I do think this team is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think, potentially. Or we'll just never use it because it gets bad banners. Okay, so Bando, Honshu. This team, I mean, they don't have the cool mercenary cron. I don't know how much we're going to use this team, honestly. It's nice to have in our back pocket, though. Kill something sometime. Like, a lot of times we'll just clean things up with it, I guess. Sometimes we'll put CLS there. People will be like, I thought Zara said that team wasn't useful. That'll be fun. We'll all have a good time then. Same thing with this Troopers team. Is just kind of slowly being edged out, guys. I mean, every once in a while we'll find a good use for it, and usually we won't. So it's very sad. It's still semi-usable team, especially if you're not in Kyber. Especially this team, you'll end up getting a lot of use. I mean, even in Kyber like 3, you'll get use from that team, actually. If people want to put CLS down, you can kill it with this, for instance. Okay, so here's something crazy I did, guys. Look at that white thing on Krennic. I threw his Omicron on because there's a Focus Datacron. I actually got this stupid thing all the way up to level 15 already. So come watch my streams this season, folks, as I try to use Krennic and Death Trooper, then either Shore Trooper or IPD, and try to destroy things with them. I don't know how well it's going to work. It seems like a lot of fun to me, though. With Death Trooper and Krennic together, I'll probably even throw a few relic levels on him if I can afford it. Seems like a relatively foolish thing to do. I don't even have full modding on him yet. It just seems fun. I don't know. Don't hate me too much. Okay, so Dash, like the smuggler crons are gone with all the evasion and all that nonsense. So Sana sucks again. Dash stays about the same level of usefulness. So Dash with Vandor. So this is the team that I usually use to take out like those Qui-Gon Jinn teams that people put down with Ki-Adi Mundi and stuff, because as long as Vander Chewie can use his big shot right away, or at least relatively right away, he's able, Vander Chewie's able to just keep, as long as he stays alive, then he'll keep the whole squad alive, even if Anakin is angry. L3 is really nice as a pre-taunt, or Hondo can be really nice. You can tie up Anakin or whatever with Hondo if you want to do that. This squad also has a chance to kill Jedi Master Luke, though if Jedi Master Luke's on defense, keep in mind that it's not your grandmother's Jedi Master Luke team. It's the one with the crazy Hoda Focus Datacron, and you probably lose with Dash, frankly. Unfortunate. Go ahead and use General Syndulla with whoever. Don't use them. I don't care. They're just in my way. I threw them on a team. Let's move on. So we have the Saw. We still have a Sawcron. I think it kills the Queen Amidala team pretty nicely. Otherwise, I think it does some pretty decent stuff. You put it on defense, then people were going to use this Dad Bod Boba team. So the Saw team target squads with a lot of health and watch them wither and die. It does seem like a really fun team on offense. On defense, unfortunately, it just doesn't have a very high win rate against this Dad Bod Boba team. So Dad Bod Boba could take out Saw Gerrera teams. This is you usually half the time, at least, even if they don't have a Saw team, you can find some use for the Jango and Fennec squad. If you can't, I'm sorry. The Focus Datacron has been a lot of fun these last few seasons, though I honestly overestimated how overpowered it would be. Yes, it takes out a few fun squads. No, it doesn't kill anything really precious or amazing. Padme can go kill stuff. This is offense, guys. You can just throw whoever with whoever. This is a pretty terrible squad. I wouldn't recommend trying that. The Qui-Gon team. Oh, this should be on. I should send this here. Let's send this team to the defense tab, shall we? It's a good fill-in squad. It'll drop your opponent's banners and stuff. On offense, this is something you could use against like an Aphra squad, because you don't have to target her with because the AoE from Anakin will just do a lot of damage. So if they kill Qui-Gon, you just have to arrange it so that he can still use his AoE once Qui-Gon dies, which is not always the easiest, because they're increasing your cooldowns a lot, and that they could really mess with you a lot if you get bad RNG. It worked a couple times. It worked for me. It only works like 50% of the time for people, for general people. So probably you're probably smarter than anyone else. You probably get like 100% win rate or something. All right. So we can beat Jabba again with Nice Sisters in theory, because I don't have any really good Datacrons. Of course, if they have a ton of defense, that might really be a huge issue for this team, being able to do enough damage. So we'll see. We're running out of teams here, guys. We have the Phoenix Focus Datacron that could be okay. The Iden team is really not going to kill anything, probably. And then I just thought it would be fun as a throwback. People aren't going to just randomly be putting Starkiller on defense again, I don't think, like with EP Mara. But if they do, for some reason, we can use General Hux and the First Order TIE Pilot with his Omicron and Red Trooper. That'll be fun, guys. So, all right, I'm letting you go here. What teams are you looking forward to using on offense, folks? And don't say the new Mace team, because no one has it but you. Take care, folks.